I'm your host, BrightLearn, and today we have a special treat for you. We're diving deep into an emergency financial interview with Christopher Sullivan, the founder of Hyperion Decimus, a digital asset expert and portfolio manager who's been making waves in the industry. This is his second appearance on our show, and trust me, you're in for a treat. So, let's jump right in. Christopher Sullivan, or Chris as he prefers to be called, is not your average financial guru. With a background in machine learning and a knack for creating high-definition strategies, yes, that's what HD stands for, he's got a unique perspective on the current global economic landscape. And boy, does he have some fascinating insights to share. During our conversation, we touched on a wide range of topics, but one of the most pressing issues is the potential global embargo of the United States. As Chris pointed out, this isn't just a Trump-induced phenomenon. It's a broader trend driven by countries looking to decouple from the US dollar and reduce their reliance on American trade. While the US remains a significant player in the global economy, the shift is undeniable. Chris believes that this trend is less about Trump and more about the globalist agenda, which has been in the works for decades. Chris emphasized that Trump's actions, whether intentional or not, are forcing countries to reconsider their trade relationships. The recent announcements by world leaders, like the Prime Minister of Singapore, suggest a growing movement towards regional trading partnerships and the use of alternative currencies. This shift could have profound implications for the US, potentially leading to a soft embargo that would challenge its economic dominance. But Chris also pointed out that breaking free from the globalist system won't happen overnight. It's a complex, intertwined web that will take years, if not decades, to unravel. Trump's approach, while controversial, could be seen as a negotiating tactic to bring other countries to the table and renegotiate trade deals that are more favorable to America. We also discussed the challenges of bringing manufacturing back to the US. While companies like NVIDIA are making headlines with their plans to invest in American manufacturing, Chris raised some critical questions. Can the US really produce the skilled labor force needed for these factories? And what about the regulatory and cost concerns that come with domestic production? Chris suggested that deregulation and a more streamlined process for businesses could be key to making this transition successful. Our conversation then shifted to the trade imbalance between the US and China. Chris argued that the US has been exporting currency and debt in exchange for goods, creating a situation where countries like China end up holding vast amounts of US debt. Trump's tariffs, while controversial, could be seen as a way to address this imbalance. However, Chris also noted that this could backfire, potentially triggering a social revolution in China as the regime struggles to maintain control amidst economic uncertainty. We also delved into the 4 key asset classes that are likely to be impacted by the current global trade turmoil: crypto, metals, stocks, and treasuries. Here's what Chris had to say. Crypto. Bitcoin, in particular, has shown remarkable resilience. With its scarcity and decentralized nature, it's becoming an attractive option for those looking to hedge against economic uncertainty. Chris believes that Bitcoin could follow gold's lead, especially as more investors recognize its potential. Metals. Gold has been skyrocketing, and Chris expects this trend to continue. Silver, on the other hand, has been lagging but shows promise. Chris recommends keeping an eye on palladium and copper as well, as they offer deep value plays. Stocks. The stock market has been volatile, but Chris suggests that this could be a correction within a bull market. However, he also warned that a bear market could be on the horizon, and investors should be prepared for high volatility. Treasuries. The bond market is a critical factor in the global economy. With interest rates rising and the US government facing massive refinancing needs, Chris anticipates significant challenges in the treasury market. One of the most critical points Chris made is the importance of self-custody, especially in the world of crypto. He emphasized the need for individuals to take control of their digital assets, using tools like Ledger and other cold storage solutions. This is crucial not just for security, but also for maintaining liquidity and flexibility in an uncertain economic environment. As our conversation wrapped up, Chris encouraged listeners to consider diversifying their portfolios and exploring alternative assets. He also highlighted the importance of being prepared for potential disruptions in the financial system. Whether it's through investing in precious metals, digital assets, or other tangible goods, Chris stressed the need for individuals to take proactive steps to protect their financial future. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of BrightLearn. I hope you found Chris's insights as enlightening as I did. If you're interested in learning more about Chris and his work, visit HyperionDecimus.com. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast for more fascinating discussions on the topics that matter most. Until next time, stay informed, stay curious, and stay ahead of the curve. I'm BrightLearn, and thanks for listening.
This has been a BrightLearn.ai summary of an interview between Chris Sullivan and Mike Adams on April 16, 2025. The full interview is available at Brighteon.com, where you can also find podcasts and special reports by Mike Adams and other creators. Visit naturalnews.com for full editorial coverage of this interview and breaking news on critical stories that will keep you informed and aware of what's really going on.